All right, we're now ready to start developing your advisor ability or your advisor skill. And the first step to getting strong with your advisor, which is about mastering your own thinking, is to be able to see your own thinking. So that we summarize it as see it. It's like this advisor moved into your head at 18 months and has lived there ever since, like a roommate. You'd want to get to know this roommate, wouldn't you? You'd want to kind of understand your roommate, understand their history, if they're going to live with you the rest of your life. That's what this advisor is. So let's get to know your advisor a bit. We're going to learn to see our advisor. That's the first skill. And in order to understand your advisor, you need to understand something about yourself. The fact that you are here alive today is a bit of a statistical improbability, a small miracle. Because if you think about it, if anybody in your past, from your ancestors, your grandmother, your great-grandmother, great-great, if any of them had died before reproducing, you wouldn't be here. So you are the result of a long chain of ancestors that didn't get killed and didn't get eaten before they could have children. So they have this incredible skill at survival. You are the result of that chain being unbroken. So the question we have today, as we get to know your roommate, your advisor, is what kind of advisor helps you and helped all your ancestors to survive? So we're going to learn about the advisor through a bit of a game, which I call the game of survivor. So imagine you have 4 people on an island, and it's thousands and thousands of years ago. So this is a time when humans weren't necessarily in charge of everything. It was a dangerous time. You know, we lived outside, there was rain, we were exposed to the elements, there was animals, things were deadly, things killed us. Sometimes we were hunted. We weren't always the hunters. And so let's say we have 4 people living at this time. We have Hank, Alice, Susan, and Kay. And so we're going to play the game called Survivor. Only one of these 4 people will survive. So let's put them together. So we're going to go Hank versus Alice first in the first competition to see which of them survives. So Hank and Alice are sitting in a grassy land on this island, and there's a little brown blob they've not seen before off in the distance, kind of moving towards them. Now Hank is somebody who doesn't have an advisor. So he's just sitting there in peace and silence. It's beautiful, right? In contrast, Alice has an advisor, and her advisor is an evaluating machine. It's going like this. What is that over there? Is there something coming? I haven't seen that before. That looks a little dangerous. And Hank's advisor, because he doesn't have one, sounds like this. Alice's advisor, oh my God, it's getting closer. I hope I can run faster than Hank. This looks bad. I better do something. Okay, so Hank has no advisor, Alice has an advisor. Who do you think is likely to survive this situation? If you guessed Alice, you are correct. Because the advisor is like this don't get eaten machine. It's something that's looking out for threat, it's evaluating, it's trying to keep you alive. If you don't have it, you're at a disadvantage. And remember, you are the result of this miraculous sequence going way back of ancestors who survived again and again and again. They made 0 fatal mistake for thousands of years. That chain of ancestors that leads to you, the miraculous you, the statistically improbable you, is based on people who survived. And so we now know everybody has this evaluative advisor. Okay, you have it. And now the next 2, we're going to put Alice against Susan. And now Alice has an advisor that she cannot turn off. So in contrast, Susan is sitting next to Alice, and she has an advisor that if she doesn't like, she just throws a switch and it turns it off. Okay, so here's the situation again. So Alice and Susan are sitting there, and here comes the brown blob again. And Alice is like, her advisor's, oh my God, what is that? There's something dangerous coming. I don't like it. I don't know, maybe we should do something. Susan's advisor's doing things like that too. Oh, yeah, there is something dangerous. I don't know what that is. I don't like the feel of this grass. But then Susan is like, I don't like feeling this way. This sucks. So she just says, shut up. And her advisor goes silent. How many of us strive for this silence? So Alice's advisor says, oh no, it's dangerous. There's something moving towards you. Susan's like, so who's more likely to survive? Alice, who can't turn off her advisor, or Susan, who can? It's a little bit of a trick question, but essentially can't make any mistakes. Remember, your ancestors make 0 mistakes. And if you can turn off your advisor, you turn off your threat detector, odds are you're going to be killed. So that means Susan's the one who gets eaten by the lion that's creeping towards them. And Alice cannot turn off her advisor. So we've learned 2 things about your advisor, this roommate who's come to live with you and is staying with you for the rest of your life. 1, it's a evaluating machine. 2, you cannot turn it off. So let's look at the 3rd aspect of your roommate, your advisor, your inner voice, and see what it's about. So now we have Alice and Kay, the last 2 survivors. Now Alice's advisor is a bit on the negative side. So it's like, oh, I don't like the feel of this grass. There's something coming towards me. This looks dangerous. I don't like any of this. Maybe I need to get out of here. That brown blob, I've never seen that before. Kay's advisor is a bit more mellow. It's like, yeah, oh, I don't know. That looks a little dangerous. Oh, but it's so beautiful today. It's all right. Oh, but I don't know about that. Oh, but don't worry about it. It's all good. So Alice's advisor tends to be a bit too oriented towards threat. It tends to err on the side of saying danger. Whereas Kay's is just about right. It says danger sometimes, and sometimes it's mellow. Who is more likely to survive? Alice, with that excessive threat detection, or Kay, who's just about right? This might be a little bit of a trick question. In fact, it is Alice who's most likely to survive, the one whose threat system is too sensitive. Why is that? Because remember how many mistakes your ancestors made century after century. How many could they make? 0. And if you're going to if the risk is making a fatal mistake, do you want to make the mistake of saying danger too often or too little? You don't want to make the too little mistake. So it's better to say danger too much. So it's a system, your advisor system, that tends to be a little negative sometimes, maybe too negative. So if you're thinking, God, I'm so negative sometimes, there's something wrong with me, just note that that is just what an advisor is, and it is tending to be negative. And see if you can make space for and accept that idea, because it's something that has kept you safe and alive.